This is Dragonfly, an RG-pilot-based lifting drone with a 1 kilogram payload capacity, 8-inch blades, and a frame I designed and will open source. This is the designs done in LibreCAD, starting with the plates and the arms. Then I actually built the frame and tested it to make sure it wasn't going to bend excessively. Then I needed the 3D printer mount for the flight computer. Then make some feet by cutting some 15mm aluminium extrusion and sticking it in a 3D printed foot. I went with the Quad X layout, and then I started mounting everything. Then weighed it. 1.124 kilos. Then this is the mess of power supplies I used in series to get 24 volts for testing, and here's it with the lid on. And then 5-inch props for testing. And a total weight of 1.278 kilos. And this is the first successful flight footage.
Is that stabilised now? Is that stabilised mode?
I don't know why.
Yep, it's stabilised mode, it says there. Right, arming. Arming.
scared. I thought it sounded funny. And I was scared that the smoke out. Don't fly that high!
That was me. Agile in the air anyway.
Oh, come down a
That was me.
The first problem found from the testing was that the battery monitor doesn't work. This was found to be because the power input ports are an I2C bus and my power monitor is analog. So I eventually found I could fix this problem by using the analog to digital converters in the ADNIO port. I just need to do some soldering and then change some parameters for battery current pin and battery volt pin, as well as all the other configuration for the battery monitor and a few other battery related parameter changes such as fail-safe options. Problem 2, no GPS. That was an easy fix, I just didn't have one installed. Then problem 3, Yahoo telemetry on the controller not working. I found multiple reasons that wasn't working. Firstly, I had it connected to RSSI because the schematics seem to make that make sense, when in reality it wants to be connected to the TX of a serial port. So I ended up using TX on telemetry 2. Then I needed to set up some parameters for that as well. Serial 2 protocol equals 10, serial 2 options equals 7. And I also needed to flash my radio with Lua enabled and copy the relevant SD card contents to the SD card. Problem 4, the SBC is built into the ESC, it's not working. That I haven't got to the bottom of yet, but isn't flight critical. They're only used for the backup power for the flight computer and eventually the gripper servo. The slight oscillation in alt-hold mode was fixed easily with some basic tuning. The compass interference problem was mostly mitigated by the external compass in the GPS, but we'll need a compass motor calibration to properly fix. And the motor overheating problem, the motor's burning out, ended up being a big thing. So I first thought I'd change from the 2755 kV motors to the 1855 kV variant and change the props from 3 blades to 2. And that made an improvement, but it still wasn't enough, and I got another motor burnt out. So I ended up having to go with bigger motors still and the 8-inch props instead of 6-inch to completely fix that problem. Another problem I had was that the receiver cable was a cheap pinheader cable intended for prototyping and isn't any good on a drone because the insulation's too brittle. So that was an easy fix, it just needed to be replaced with a cable with silicon insulation. Propeller's bending was fixed with the 8-inch carbon fibre reinforced props. And the battery holder being too fragile, well, that ended up being a dead-end design and I needed to change it to a simpler design with Velcro. Warning EKF3 ground magnum. Arming?
Is it going to go right?
Motor's armed.
No. That's hard to spin.
Yeah, that's hovering by itself. And now it just seems to learn how to hover.
Now, most of everything's working correctly, but there's still a few known problems, such as the problem with the SBCs built into the ESC, still some slight compass interference, the lid needing a redesign, the legs are too short to fit the line release under, and the lack of the line release. But that's a subject for another video.